the Chi-Town experience on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the likes.
This comment from the Titans defensive coordinator definitely made things more interesting for this Sunday's matchup. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, make sure you also do me a huge favor by also hitting the like button on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. So, Bears fans, I have some really good news to share with you guys on today's episode of the Keek on the Mic. As you guys all know, the Chicago Bears play their very first game against the Tennessee Titans this Sunday. And, you know, the Chicago Bears already have they're amped up for this game. They already have a lot to prove. They're ready to go to show the world that they are an improved team and they're ready to take the NFL by storm. But the Titans defensive coordinator probably gave them a little bit more motivation for this Sunday's matchup against the Titans. Denard Wilson arrived from the Baltimore Ravens to take over as the Tennessee Titans defensive coordinator. He is a defensive back specialist and he plays with a certain style and he has these expectations for his defensive backs in Tennessee. But I'm going to go ahead and read to you what he had to say before this first matchup against the Chicago Bears offense. He said this: "For me, I believe press or less," Wilson said. "I want them to line up and I want them to be in front of the receivers and challenge the receivers. Ultimately, in this game, if you get free access, it's easy for the quarterback to complete balls. So what I do is I want to create hesitation at the line of scrimmage and make them earn it the hard way. Make them earn it. Throw the 50-50 ball. But everything else we're going to challenge." Wilson was then asked if he leaves it open to his corners to press. "From day one, we press everything." And Bears fans, I understand why the Titans defensive coordinator feels this way. When you look at the Titans offseason moves, they start off by signing veteran cornerback Chidobe Awuzie, fresh off of a very productive stint with the Cincinnati Bengals. Then they made a huge trade for two-time Super Bowl champion L'Jarius Sneed from the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the better corners the last couple of years in the National Football League. And then they also have a promising nickel corner in Roger McCreary. So Wilson, the defensive coordinator from the Tennessee Titans, definitely has a right to, run this type of style of defense, making sure his corners are pressing and making sure that they are aggressive at the line of scrimmage. But I will say this, for example, this only works if your defensive line and your pass rush is able to get pressure on quarterback Caleb Williams. Here's the funny thing about this, Bears fans. Nicholas Moreno of the CHGO Bears podcast actually went around and shared this quote from the Tennessee Titans defensive coordinator and shared it with some of our receivers, including Keenan Allen, Tyler Scott, and Rome Odunze. And this was their response to his comment. Keenan Allen said, "That's the Titans, whoever you're talking about. Yeah, sure." Rome Odunze also added, "If that is what he's trying to do, that's what he's trying to do. Everybody has their different tasks with trying to stop an offense, and especially in our room with the guys that we have a lot of answers for those things as well." Tyler Scott also added, "But hey, if that's what they want to do, we got all different types of guys, especially a guy like Keenan, okay, we welcome it." The Chicago Bears and the receiving group has a right to feel confident, especially if they want to run press coverage on the Chicago Bears offense. And here's something that I want to know on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. Back in May, Pro Football Focus actually revealed the top 10 receivers against press coverage last season. And the Chicago Bears had not only one, but two wide receivers last year that did really well against press coverage. Starting off with DJ Moore, he was at number 8 with 29 catches of 15 yards or more against press coverage. And then, of course, Keenan Allen was number 9, catching 85 of the 91 catchable passes he saw against press coverage. Now they are both teammates on the same offense. And you can even say Rome Odunze at Washington was also really improved against press coverage as well. So overall, Bears fans, this Chicago Bears offense, including Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and DJ Moore, are fully equipped to really counter this press coverage that the Tennessee Titans plan to play on Sunday. And once again, Bears fans, this really hinges on the Chicago Bears offensive line. If the Chicago Bears offensive line can give Caleb Williams enough protection and the Titans defensive coordinator wants to play this press coverage on Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and DJ Moore, Caleb Williams absolutely going to torch this Tennessee Titans defense. They will not be able to play press coverage for the full 60 minutes, especially if our offensive line is giving Caleb Williams time. The press coverage will work for the Tennessee Titans if they are getting consistent pressure on Caleb Williams and making him get rid of the ball super fast. That could possibly lead into some turnovers for the Tennessee Titans defense. But Bears fans, if Caleb Williams has time, there are going to be a lot of big plays down the field, because personally, even though I really like a guy like L'Jarius Sneed, I like what I see from Roger McCreary as well. And even Chidobe Awuzie is also a really good corner in the National Football League. It's going to be really tough for those guys if Caleb Williams has time to cover Keenan Allen, Roman Dunze, and DJ Moore consistently in press coverage. And before I let you guys go, Bears fans, there is one final thing I want to know on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, and that is new Bears offensive coordinator Shane Waldron actually coached against the Cleveland Browns, Washington Commanders, Dallas Cowboys, and Pittsburgh Steelers last season. Those four teams actually ranked among the highest in man press coverage. His Seahawks averaged 308 passing yards a game in those 4 games. So that is just something to think about as well. Once again, I love the idea of what Tennessee is trying to do. They're trying to be aggressive. They're trying to play that press coverage, but just realize that we have a new offensive coordinator here in Chicago. We're not talking about Luke Getsy. Shane Waldron will have an answer for that press coverage. And I think at the end of the day, it's going to be too much of a tall task for Tennessee to play press coverage for the whole game, because once again, you have DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Roman Dunze, and you're not even talking about Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, and DeAndre Swift as well. But overall, Bears fans, we are very close to the very first game of the NFL season. I'm at Soldier Field, where Caleb Williams and Chicago Bears look to make a statement and get a huge win in week 1 against the Tennessee Titans. Once again, I will be going live for the Bears versus Titans games on Sunday, so make sure you guys come join me for that as well. But before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. Do you think the Tennessee Titans would be able to play press coverage against the Chicago Bears offense this Sunday and actually be effective at it? Let me know down below what you're thinking in the comment section. But as always, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears fan you know. But other than that, be back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Keek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the Mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the Mic.